What is happening, everybody, on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit, with another Green Room live show. I think it just went live. I don't know. Anyways, Green Room show right here, Raiken Profit. I'm here with Bonafide Hustler and my main man, Reezy Resells, who is a monster bookseller. I met Reezy, I don't know if it was 6 or 8 months ago. I don't remember. We were in California, Yang and I, and we had a Green Room meetup, and I had the privilege to meet Reezy. And we started chit-chatting, and he was telling me about how he was doing all these numbers and making it happen. And as you guys know, people talk, people say this, people say that. But I actually had the privilege. He showed me his app, his dashboard, and I was like, holy mackerel, how is he doing this? And I remember for about the next, I think it was a day or two, we were hanging out, or maybe it was just that one night. He was helping people, teaching people, talking about his processes. And since then, we've become friends. He started his own Facebook group, and he's been absolutely killing it. So today's an awesome show. From $5 to $3.3 million selling books on Amazon over the last about 10 years, I think he's selling. So we're going to dive into it. Awesome show. Let me pass it over to Bonafide. Who are you? What do you do? And what you got to say?
What's up? Bonafide Hustler here, one of the admins of the greenroomuniversity.com, and I buy and sell stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, big box stores, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, and my antique booth. Anyway, so I am one of the admins of the Green Room, along with the college picker, who isn't here because his internet is a little shoddy, but he'll be in the chat feed if you want to ask any questions. He's a wealth of information. But let's get to our guest. Let's get to this show. Reezy, who are you and what is your story?
My name is Mike Reezy. I go by Reezy Resells. That's what most of you guys know me by. I've been selling books online, mostly Amazon, for about 10 years. I think just about exactly 10 years. And I started from nothing, really, from like $5 from my first bag of books that I bought. I had prior resale experience with eBay, and just like growing up, I've been selling stuff my whole life. But I found out about books, and I really took it all the way, and that was a long time ago.
Okay. Judging from your back wall, I would think that books aren't what you're into, but more like skating and stuff. So what's your skate story?
Yeah, I guess you asked about myself and not really my business so much. But I've been skateboarding since I was like 12 years old or so. Not so much anymore, obviously. I'm getting older, working a lot. But I still love to do it, and it's pretty much like the only exercise that I get.
Cool. Well, that's good. I see a really neat Santa Cruz reissue on you, the green one above your hat. I see a SC reissue.
Which one is that?
The one next to the yellow one, to the right of the yellow one. I swear that's a Santa
Okay,
Cruz.
so that's like a... No, it is. It's a parody of it. Let's see if I can point it up there.
Oh,
it's a parody, and it's The Simpsons. So they did a series of decks with 20th Century Fox and The Simpsons or whatever.
Wow.
And I bought a bunch of those just because I have an affinity for The Simpsons also, I guess.
That's cool. I bet you college picker is going crazy, like just looking at these boards. So, all right, so let's get into the your YouTube channel. Your website,
yeah, they're kind of an investment too,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I actually sold 2 boards, one board this year, 1 board last year that were actually investment boards for me, and I flipped them for like really good money. But let's get to your YouTube channel, Reezy Resells, and then you have a website and a Facebook group. Let's let people know how to get in touch with you through those 2 things.
Okay, so I think Steve put the links in the description down below, but my website is reezyresells.com, and honestly, I'm not really utilizing it that well. I've written a couple blog articles, but mostly it just hosts my YouTube videos, so you can always go to reezyresells.com and just see my latest YouTube videos. My YouTube channel link, I believe, is youtube.com/c/reezyresells. I think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you guys can hit me up also in my Facebook group. The link is really long, so that's also in the description.
Yep.
You can also just search for Reezy Resells on Facebook. And then Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Beam, Anchor, whatever you can do social media on, it's at Reezy Resells. So hit me up.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, when I was in YouTube and I just type in Reezy, I mean, it's like the first thing that comes up. So it's got to be one of the very first things that comes up when you do Facebook or any of that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's get to the book part. What do you like so much about selling books on Amazon FBA? Like, why books there versus eBay versus selling them in a bookstore, for example, opening your own brick and mortar?
Well, I didn't sell on Amazon prior to books, so I wouldn't say. I guess Amazon is the place where people go to buy books mostly, so that's where I ended up being at. But
Okay.
the thing that I really like about books is that, for one, you can get them really cheap because the general public thinks that they don't really hold much value to them.
Okay. So that's why you get into books for Amazon FBA. You can get them for cheap, and you can sell them for a pretty decent turnaround, right?
Yeah, well, the other thing is they have barcodes, right? So you can assess them very fast and determine whether they're worth money or not in a second or less using a scanner.
Okay, so let's get into that scanner thing, Raiken, right? Let's ask him because I didn't know about the scanner thing until just now. What are you using? What's your setup, and how much does it cost per month? And I want people out there to understand that you really have to invest in your business, right, Raiken? You got to invest if you
Absolutely.
Right.
People about your setup right now, Reezy.
So it's been a long time coming. Back in the day, they didn't have any of this stuff. It was I recently learned this is called having a gnome, but it's when you had someone at home and you would call them on the phone and say, "Hey, look this up on eBay." So that's how it started out way back in the day. And then you could send ISBNs on SMS phones. And then they had the PDAs with the databases, the Axum X5s or whatever, X51. And then now we're very lucky to have modern scanning apps available on your phone. So the app that I use, there's several different apps. They're pretty similar, but the one I use, I believe, is the best for selling books. It's called FBA Scan, and it's one of only 2 selling apps, I believe, that allows you to download Amazon's catalog into your phone. And the great thing about that is that you can not only get results where you have no cell signal, which if you guys have ever been trying to scout in some crazy area,
Oh yeah.
It's always a gold mine when you don't have a cell signal, right? And and then the other thing is just that even without the cell signal, when you do a live search of an ISBN, it takes 1 to 3 seconds to come back, even with a good cell signal. But with the database, it takes a quarter of a second to come back. Like, you literally, if you have your eyes on a barcode and you're making sure you scanned it, you cannot get your eyes back to the screen fast enough to see it switch.
Are you
that fast? That's crazy.
Are you typically, like, for example, say you're in an area that has really good internet cell signal? Are you typically going to download that database, right before you go in and just ping it off the bat to save that second on each scan, which could add up with a couple thousand scans?
Maybe, but really with books, they sell. It's not like retail arbitrage where if it has a really good rank, it's probably selling 100 units a day. Books move a lot with a little bit of volume. And so I'm not so concerned with the rank right now, actually. I mean, I'm more concerned with like the price and the amount of offers and, of course, the rank. But I mean, it's just a picture in time, right? It changes. It's not static. So kind of going off topic right here. What was the original part of the question?
Yeah, you pretty much covered the question. I was asking if you typically go off that database and just scan live, but you pretty much answered the question right there.
So, well, let me just finish it off real quick. So
Sure.
The thing is that it's not so important to be live because it could go up in a day or two, or it could go down in a day or two. And I actually like having my database a little bit out of date, maybe 3 days, 5 days, whatever. Because when you scan something and you can see the rank and the price, but then you can hit the live button and get the live results, and you can see what happened in the last 5 days. You can go, oh, those ones sold. Now the price is higher. Now there's more offers, whatever. It's a good piece of data to have.
That's one thing I love about selling books on Amazon FBA personally. Like, you have all the data at the tip tip of your fingers. I mean, you have everything in your hands to make a decision right then and there. I mean, talk to people about how long it takes you to scan maybe 100 books or 1,000 books, or kind of what you're, maybe talk about how many books can you scan in an hour, and out of those, you know, out of that hour of scanning, how many books can you typically find? Obviously that's going to vary, but what's your average?
Right. So this is a huge thing, and I don't know if we should break it down into more parts, but scanning books is usually you're scanning a lot of books, and that's why it's very important to have the right tools so that you can be efficient and cover a lot of ground, because I see people day in and day out, this book thing's a scam. I scanned 100 books and they were all worth a penny. And I was like, that's normal. You know, you need to scan 1,000 books, you know, and you need to go back every day. You know, you can't just say, you know, maybe someone got there before you know, so you need to, you know, you guys know you got to feel out a store before you make a full decision on something. And I would say it takes no longer than a second to scan a book, and maybe as fast as a half a second. If I'm wearing the scanner on my arm and then have my phone on my arm and then have the Bluetooth thing in my hand, I can scan extremely fast, you know, like a quarter of a second to a half second. You just have one free hand and you just go through as fast as you can. And so you're scanning super fast, faster sometimes than the data is coming back even, but you'll see the screen, or you'll have, you know, some kind of alert set up. Maybe it's the trigger game is not really on point, so I would just set it for like $1 amount and then make sure to look at those ones. And then you'll go, oh, worth money, and you might go back 1 or 2 books and then go, okay, there's that one, and then you grab it, you know, but you're scanning, you know, 20 to 50 books a minute, you know, really fast. And so
what scanner are you using? Because I know people are kind of curious. Most people are accustomed to just scanning with the, you know, Amazon seller app on their phone, but I know what you're using. Talk to people about what you're using, because that allowed me to double the amount of books I was able to source, probably triple, using this scanner, this Bluetooth scanner, over the traditional just scanning with the phone.
Right. So there's a bunch of different scanners, but the two that I like that I've tried probably like 5 different ones, and these 2 are my favorite. One costs a lot more than the other. So the one that I really am recommending to people nowadays is the KDC 200i. You can get them refurbished for $50, and it's literally like that big. It's the size of your car remote that unlocks your car. And you take that puppy and you Velcro it to the back of your phone case, and then you can scan one-handed. And the cool thing is it doesn't even really look like you're scanning stuff. It just looks like you're looking down at your phone, and then you can be scanning something.
Hey, Reezy, did your camera turn off? Because it's been, some people have been commenting saying they can't see you. So
let me make sure.
It's been like that for like 15 minutes now, but it's okay.
Really?
It's all good.
Yeah,
the information is good. So
yeah, the content's making up for it, Reezy. I know your pretty face isn't shown right now, but
oh, no good. Hold on.
Maybe he's just like still.
No, I see. I can tell because the what up? Hold on.
We'll let you fix it, and take a minute off. We're gonna go into the comment section and answer some questions right now.
There we go. Are we good?
Shout some people out. Yeah, you're back. Chris, shout some people out and tell people what to do right now.
We got a lot of people in the feed.
And 232 people watching live right now. What do people got to do, Chris? And shout them out.
Yeah, that's right. You know, hit the like button for the technical difficulties that we're having. All right, just hit it for that. But honestly, you know, if you just sit back and listen to what Reezy's talking about, he's got some really, really good information that he's divulging. We're about to get into some really amazing questions here. But I do want you to hit the like button. It lets us know through analytics later on when we look at it, you know, whether this was a really good show, a good topic, if it's something to do another show about. This is definitely one of those ways that you can communicate through, because the comment feed honestly is great now, but we don't get to see that after the fact. Well, we do get to see it after the fact, but we don't get to see it like as fast as it goes right now. So anyway, just hit the like button for us. We would really appreciate it.
They're listening to you, man. We were at 57. Now we're up to 95. You got that.
Dude, that's because I'm the Bonafide Hustler, bro. I'm telling you.
There was
Bonafide Hustler.
There was a lot of hype before this show, because I don't know if you guys know Reezy or not. Again, if you don't, Facebook, his YouTube, go in the link below. But this guy has a freaking killer following. He's only been in the game. I remember Reezy. Do you remember calling me and you popped onto my Periscope, and you said something that got my attention. I called you. You had no following. You had no YouTube. Do you remember having that conversation?
No, yeah. Hey guys,
Dude.
if you follow me, you guys have to follow Steve because he is one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is I was just totally motivated by seeing Steve doing his thing and helping everybody.
I appreciate that for sure. But it's definitely an honor, and I'm really excited to continue with the show. We've got a lot. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So
I got my business partner's watching and he texted me, so I got my phone ready in case the video goes down again.
we might hit a record. The
Okay.
most live viewers we've ever had is I think 300. We're at 236 right now, and the show's just started. So if anyone's watching right now, share this in a Facebook group, share it on Twitter, share it wherever you can, because if we get to 300 plus, we're gonna give something crazy away. That's all I could say. But Bonafide, what's the next part of the outline, man?
All right. So Reezy, where do you source a majority of your books? Like if someone's like, a beginner's out there is like, all right, I want to try this out. Maybe I won't get the scared, but I'll do the email, the Amazon app and everything like that. But I want to go to like the best place so I can kind of something under my belt, some good wins, right? Where would you suggest the best place to source majority of the books that you get?
So mostly thrift stores, library sales, and yard sales. So everywhere where we operate is a yard sale friendly area, basically meaning we have yard sales all year round, which is pretty pivotal because it's a good source of inventory. Thrift stores, yard sales, library sales, word of mouth, make sure you're known as the book guy or girl to everybody that knows you. Craigslist ads, whether it's people getting rid of books, and then you have if this then that monitoring it for you, so you get email alerts, or it's your own classified ads that you post up and you get a couple responses a week. We're looking into doing bulk books, basically just to sustain our future, but we don't really do bulk books right now. We do some auctions here and there. We'll do a storage locker auction or just like this auction house, but mostly just those sources that I mentioned.
How many books have you sold so far this year? I remember earlier on you had a goal, and if you don't want to release that personal information in terms of what you wanted to hit and whatnot, share with people, because I feel like I don't feel like you've expressed really how big of a bookseller you are and what you're actually doing. I think there's a lot of people curious about that.
Let me see. I bet my business partner is probably already searching that out to put in the comments. I'm trying to open my seller account right now to see, because I can't do that on the app, or else I probably would have it already. Let me look real quick. Sales summary.
Well, he's coming with it.
Coming, guys, I'm coming. Let's see, and I'll do just books too. It is 90%, but I'll just filter it to just books.
So you're 90% books. I remember you said you were also, you walked into a Marshall's today, so you're doing a little bit of retail arbitrage as well?
Oh, yeah, as much as possible. Trying to get my average sale price up higher. Just with books, your average sale price, unless you do, only textbooks, your average sale price is probably going to be, $10 to $14 or something.
I know a lot of people who, okay, keep going if you're ready.
Okay, yeah, so this year, so far, we've sold 27,109 books.
27,000 books. That's a lot of books right there. Holy mackerel. And for a total sales of how many?
Not as much as I would like it to be. I know this sounds stupid, but it's $461,843.
So that comes out to an average price of
$1,704.
Well, that's not bad at all. What are you disappointed about $17 in average?
I'm not. It's just I just recently did our projections, and we're not going to break $1 million this year probably, which is what I had hoped for. But I think I just fell off the ball a little bit this summer with my daughter's softball and traveling for all that stuff, and we should have probably did some projections a lot earlier and realized that we needed to ramp things up.
So let's put that into context. We're in September. You've done almost $500,000 so far, sold 27,000 books. For people out there who are watching, you know, obviously you've been reselling for over 10 years, so this didn't happen overnight. And also, you're not a one-man show, right? Talk about your team and how you're able to process this many books, because I know there's a lot of people thinking right now, like, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna
Right.
sell, you know, 50,000 books next year. What's it take to sell that many books?
On your own, you got to work 10-hour days minimum every single day, probably. Not to sell that many that I sold, but just to make, you know, um, when I was doing it on my own, I made, you know, my best years were like between 300,000 and 400,000. But when I say on my own, I had my wife helping me, and we were working, like I said, 10-hour days, wrapping, you know, at one point 100 merchant fulfilled orders a day. It just gets ridiculous. At some point, you need to bring on a team, and that's actually was the first person I ever hired was when we were still merchant fulfilling orders during the holiday season, for books anyways. I would bring a partner on and pay him $10 an hour to wrap orders for us. And but if you want to grow your business, obviously you got to make it bigger. And so eventually I partnered with Scott like in early 2012. And me and him are like best friends. We went to high school together and everything. I taught him the book Hustle when I first learned it, and he was one of the few friends of mine that actually was successful in doing it and maintaining it. And to me, it just made sense. He's really smart. We both had good systems set up in place. So, you know, just like we could take care of each other and grow better when we're both focusing on the same thing. And you know, you have systems in place, and then you move to a new location, and you're not going to give up your system. So then you have to hire employees to run your business, and that's pretty much how it started. I was really I can't think of the word right now, but reluctant to give up doing a lot of the day in day out work until a couple years ago when I broke my foot skateboarding, and I was forced to stay home for 3 months straight, and was actually a blessing because I discovered arbitrage, and I also realized that, yeah, my business could continue without me doing a lot of the day in, day out tasks. But currently we consist of me and my business partner, Scotty G, Ricky Analog on social media, and we have two full-time employees and one part-time employee, and we operate out of 3 locations, but we're sourcing and shipping books out 5 days a week from 2 locations minimum every week of the year.
Do you mind sharing how you're able to manage having multiple locations and multiple employees? Maybe we could, I know we're kind of skipping ahead in terms of our outline right now and the direction we're going, but I just got to ask because there's questions coming in right now.
So it's like, we did it so ghetto at the beginning, and my CPA and IRS wanted to kill us. So over time, you learn how to do it properly. But QuickBooks, Dropbox, Google Documents, clock in, clock out software, Skype, remote control computer setups. We still have to go physically visit every location at least once every few months, if not just to pat the employees on the back and tell them we appreciate what they're doing, you know. But usually something comes up, and it's always the dumbest thing, and so then that will be the time that we'll go handle it and make sure everything's okay.
I remember you were in trouble. It wasn't, I remember it was like a month or 2 ago. I guess they left the team or they quit, or we don't got to get into the details, but I remember you had to fly out to a location and handle it. And I guess that's one of the downsides to it. I mean, if somebody quits or just gets up and leaves, you got to go handle that situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a deal with someone to, you know, to buy books from them or whatever, if you have any type of business, you probably have arrangements in place that involve other people, and you can't just, you know, call people and say, hey, my employee quit, I can't show, you know, no one's going to be there, you know, you're going to lose your deal, you know, so you have to make it happen, and that involved me flying out, you know, red eye, you know, no notice, like 4 hours notice. I flew out. My wife hated me. I think I was gone for like 10 days, and I spent all of that time interviewing people and trying to hire people for to fix the problem. And I even had to bring one of my workers from my other location, which cost even more money, because he had to do the work at that location that wasn't being done so that I could use my time to focus on HR, which is nightmare. I hate
Bonafide.
HR. Like
Bonafide,
I fully
what are your
I fully
thoughts?
respect everyone that that doesn't want to have employees because they don't want to deal with HR headaches. Like, I feel you. I just wanted to grow my business, and you can't do it without more people. So
That's true. Well, we definitely have a part of the outline which is definitely about more like your employees and everything and how it goes down. We're going to jump into back to the first part real quick. Let's get down to the nitty gritty about what kind of books sell best on Amazon. I mean, are you going to answer textbooks? Probably, right?
obviously, right?
Yeah.
Textbooks, they cost a lot. So
Okay.
I mean,
Let's bring it down.
obviously, nonfiction
Okay,
it would be a
nonfiction.
better answer, but that probably, that includes textbooks. So
Yeah. If you had to have a genre of books under textbooks and let's say nonfiction, like will it down a little bit more, one more level, like what would you say?
oh man,
Would it be like autobios, like crafty books? Would it be something like what comes to your mind?
as not textbooks though.
Yeah, something that's not textbooks.
Dang. There's so many different categories. Like, there's good history books, like biographies, or like metaphysical type stuff, or like occult religion stuff, or
Okay, I've heard about that too.
honestly, just full disclosure, as I'm like, even though I've been doing this for a long time, I still say like I'm a young bookseller. I'm not from the old school. I never knew books before you could scan them and know what they are worth. So, I mean, I know what some books are worth off-site, but not so many. I have a magic scanner that does all the work for me. So
That's
I
true.
was thinking the same thing, man. When you were trying to think of an answer, I'm like, this guy's so spoiled with the scanner. I'm the same way when people ask me that question. I'm like, you know what? You don't need to know with the scanner. You just scan. It's so fast. If you have the Bluetooth scanner, the FBA scan, it actually holds you back to think. It's faster just to scan.
yeah, it's not like, clothing where you're like looking at this label and you're like, I think this sounds Italian.
I picked up the
It's $2,
stupidest
I'll check
looking.
it out.
Have you ever? I mean, this happens to me all the time. I find the stupidest, like oldest, raggedy books, and I'm like, there's no way this is worth money. And you scan it, and it's like 60, $70, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
it's just it blows my mind just what certain books go
Or the
for.
paper thin children's books that are worth, over $20.
Dude, I went to a library sale. This was, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, and the library was actually giving away a bunch of books that it couldn't sell, and they were selling books at like a nickel, a dime each. So they got rid of all the books that they couldn't sell. It was all free. So I scanned them all, $30 book, $60 book,
Wow.
$120 book. It was like a healthcare professional book from like 1993 that went for over 100. And I'm like,
And some of those sold already?
oh yeah.
You need to go back to that library, Steve. If that was the leftovers,
No, and I'm not telling anyone where that library is.
yeah, you need to go back.
Let's get back into this. What factors do you take into consideration when you make a price for a book, right? Do you just kind of go on a whim what sounds good in your head, or are you going off, you scanned it at the store, right?
Right.
And you're like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. Obviously, you're scanning it one more time before you sell it, right?
Right.
Before you actually put it into the box.
I mean, not so much. I mean, I'll scan it, and then if I was at a big library sale where I'm scanning really fast, I'm gonna of course like go through everything before I leave to make sure I didn't do anything stupid or whatever. But you're not gonna like this answer, but we do not manually price our inventory. We let price it for us automatically.
Oh wow,
So
that's awesome. So it's like
a
you got a real like streamlined little thing going
Talk
on.
about
we
that.
we realized just a long time ago that it takes so much time to monitor to price your inventory. It takes a lot of time, especially with the amount of inventory that we send in. And so I was spending hours of time a day, every day, manually pricing inventory and coming up with crazy ways to price it really fast using Grease Monkey extensions and Chrome extensions and all kinds of stuff. And so we eventually came on to the idea that, hey, why don't we upload our inventory at a very high price, like $1,000, and then let the repricer go at it, because they finally made a template that allowed you to reprice your inventory by price. So then I could make a template that priced only those items that were $999.99, and then price them really aggressively, much more aggressively than I would generally price an item, but just to bring it down to market price. So whatever that is for you, if you want to compete against only merchant offers or only FBA offers, or if you want to get the buy box or whatever, you can hit that and it will only hit it one time, and then your other templates will apply after that. And of course some of them won't get repriced, but then there's another option. If it can't be repriced, price it to this price. So then you make another price like $899.99, and then you make a more aggressive template to hit those. And you just keep waterfalling it with these more aggressive templates.
That's cool.
And then there's still some left over always that you will have to manually reprice. And could you make a little bit more money manually repricing your items? Maybe, probably. I don't know. I'm not focused on that really. I'm just focused on getting a ton of units in as possible. Now we do manage the prices for retail arbitrage items. We list all that stuff with Inventory Lab, and we have all kinds of, we're trying to not lose money on that. It costs a lot more, obviously. And with textbooks, we don't even reprice textbooks until textbook season. So we'll send them in, and we'll price them at like some ridiculous price, like whatever we would want it to sell for during textbook season, basically. And then just wait until the most busy part of, August or January, and then flip them on, and then let them go.
That's crazy, man. Hey, guess what, Reezy? I got something really special to tell you.
Yes.
Are you ready? So the show has peaked. It reached 327 at one point, but it's right around 310 right now. 310 people watching. That's insane.
That's another record, man, dude.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are coming on here, man, just setting records, man?
I'm the king of the world.
We're gonna totally cut that bit. I gotta start my video with that. That's hilarious. But yeah, thanks for being here, first of all. Hey, while we have 311 people here, why don't you hit the like button or hit the dislike button, whatever you want to do. Just make an action. That's all we care about. Make an action. All right, and let's see if you guys like this content.
We're gonna probably
very important.
Sorry to cut you off, Bonafide, but we're probably gonna cut off the outline at probably 3:45 because there's so many questions coming in. We've got to get in there. We also got to save some time because we got to think of something to give away.
Okay, think about something to give away, Raiken, and let me blast through the outline. Reezy, give me 10-second or less answers. Is that cool?
Let's do it. 10 seconds.
All right, man. Here we go. So, all right. So, how important is condition when it comes to selling books on Amazon? Are customers really picky?
I would say they're not so picky, but there's always going to be those picky customers, So, just err on the side of caution and always condition them worst condition if you're unsure. Never go up, always go down.
Okay, I agree with you on that completely. On anything that's not just books, that's everything. So, do you polybag books? Next question.
Nope, don't ever do it.
Okay, next question. Can you talk about ranks as it pertains to books? What ranks do you focus on, and what's the absolute highest rank that you will purchase?
There's no answer to the highest rank question because just depending on the author and the subject matter, I might buy a 15 million rank book. It just depends. The highest rank book I've ever sold is like 7 million and something, a horse breeding book, but I don't list a lot of books in the higher rank range, so that's probably not a good statistic. If you've sold a higher rank book than that, please put it in the comments so we can all learn from you. But generally for books, anything under 1 million is relatively safe. Anything under 2 million is still fairly safe, but you want to start paying more attention to the item. And whenever it's 2 million or greater, you need to make sure that you know what you have in your hand is money, because at that point, the sale frequency is very, very infrequent. When the ranks get higher above, 1.5, 2 million, you're going to be looking at camel, camel, camel more often to see the sales rank graph. That's a great part about FBA scan is it's just a one touch from the results screen to bring up the camel, camel, camel chart on any item. Also, one touch to bring up the FBA offers so you can see the actual prices versus the data. Can we go into that real quick?
Do what you want to do. It's your show, man.
I don't know if you guys do scanning apps or whatever, but every app and software is limited by Amazon's API to the lowest 20 offers. So if you're new to the game, you might scan something and be like, hey, that's not what it showed on my scanner. It's not the scanner or the software's fault. they're all limited by Amazon's API. So a good scanning app has a button you can press to see the live FBA offers, just to make sure on the stuff where you don't have all the data that you need to make the decision. But rank is not static. It moves all the time, so you just want to make sure you know what's happening with the rank.
Okay. I have a quick question. It's right off the outline. It's off the outline. It's not on the outline. But a million rank book, give us a timeline of when that would sell. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month? What do you think? Like usually million rank or below?
It's hard to say. It could sell tomorrow. It could sell in 3 months. You know, it could be on its way to 3 million rank, or it could sell tomorrow and be 10,000 and then be back on its way to 1 million. So that's kind of, you know, ranks are a guideline, but they don't really mean much. The camel graph is what you really want to look at, because you can look at it and you can count the peak, the spikes in the sales rank graph. Every time it spikes, that indicates sales volume, right? Because the rank's going to go worse and worse until it sells, then that pushes it to a better rank. And so you can see those spikes and put it at 3 months or 6 months, and you can estimate how many units sell during that time period. And that's much better than making a static judgment on a rank, at least when you're not comfortable.
Okay. Outside of the scanner and linking it with Amazon, what tips do you have for beginners when it comes to saving time in their book selling business on Amazon?
You want to streamline all your processes. So, you know, don't send 50 unit shipments, send 500 unit shipments. Just, you know, let it pile up and then go at it like gangbusters on your shipment, because you're saving so much time from switching tasks less often. Try LTL shipping as soon as possible, because you can save a ton of money. I don't know why I waited so long. I thought you needed to have more, but I saved an incredible over 100% of saving, or 50% of savings or whatever, from doing LTL just on a 600 book shipment. So that's a good savings on shipping. Just try and be as fast as possible. Just focus on putting those books in the boxes. Go to Scout as much as possible. Scout every day. You know, if you work 5 days a week and the stores are closed after you get off work, Scout on your lunch break. You know what I mean? Go out on the weekends. You know, get up earlier. You're gonna have to get as much inventory as possible for as cheap as possible when you start out.
Okay, real quick. Do you do a brief scan with your fingers to look for any highlighter, writing, any weird marks? I mean, do you do it really quickly? Is that part of your process?
Definitely. So basically, there's I think it's like a 4-step process for books, and that's what we call conditioning. That's you pull it out of your wherever you got it, a box or a bag. You pull it out. You make your decision about the condition. You thumb through it. It should take a second, 2 seconds. Whatever. Then you put it down, and we condition our books into stacks. After that, you got to get it scanned into the system, listed on Amazon. Then the 3rd step is stickering the books, and then the 4th step is boxing the books up.
Okay. So you still manually sticker these things right now, right?
Definitely.
You're not doing that kind of option, no?
No, because it costs 20 cents a unit to have Amazon sticker it, and if you do the math on that, it's crazy how much that would be, like over $100 an hour, what you'd be paying them to sticker your items.
Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, fair enough. I was just thinking at the volume that you're going at, would it be worth it? Because then you can save time at some point, and if your time is really worth, let's say $300 or $400 an hour, I mean,
right. Well, I'm not stickering them. I'm not stickering them. My workers are.
Okay. Cool. Very good.
But I mean,
okay, so
regularly, I do sticker books still. I'm just saying, not regularly.
Yeah. What tools could you just not live without?
Obviously, could never live without my scanner. Definitely can't live without that.
So that's the most integral thing to your success, is the scanner, for sure, right?
Yeah, I would say it allows you to make the buying decisions that you're way more sure of. Obviously, couldn't live without my laptop. I'm assuming you mean as far as for the business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say the scanner is by far the most important thing. everything else, I'll tape labels onto boxes if I have to, or
Can't live without that scanner,
yeah.
man. I'd love to see Reezy out there without the scanner.
Dude, that's my nightmare. Actually, I arrive at a book sale and it's apparently gold, but the prices are just high enough, and I don't have a scanner.
So let me
everyone else is taking all the books.
Nightmares all the time. Let me stop real quick because we're at 9:40. We're gonna run this contest right now. I'm talking to one of our other admins behind the scenes right now. We just hit 351 live viewers. So I figured out with my other partner, and Chris, I think you're gonna love this. I figured out a prize. So are you ready to do this contest right now? What do you think, Reezy, man? We're gonna give something away. Amazing.
Are we gonna give away your car, Raiken?
Yes, with a huge scratch on the side from the drunk driver who hit it. But anyways, let's do it, man. Okay, cool. So what we're going to be giving away right now is a 1-month free membership to the Green Room. And you might think to yourself, well, what is that? Well, we've got about 9 or 10 free books that we've created. So we probably got about, between books and courses, probably about $300 or $400 worth in there. You're going to get the Facebook group. You're probably going to get 20 or probably got over 30 private shows in there now, training videos. So you're going to get in there for 1 month for free. So you can grab everything and take it. If you don't want to stay, you can leave. And we're going to send you guys out a Green Room shirt as well, because 350 live viewers, man. I mean, Reezy, thank you, man.
Can I get one of those shirts, please?
Oh, man, we're going to hook you up, man. We're going to hook you up. But this is what we're going to do. We've got Eric, who is our other admin, in the comment section right now. And what you're going to have to do in order to win, and whoever the winner is, email us at askgreenroom@gmail.com, and we're going to get back to you. But what you're going to have to do right now, can I get a drum roll, Reezy and Bonafide?
Yeah, I'm typing it in. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say brrr on the comment feed right now.
Okay, are you guys all ready? And if you're a Green Room member, we'll hook you up with something else as well, since you're already in the Green Room. What you have to do is go to our website, which is greenroomuniversity.com. That's our website. Go to greenroomuniversity.com and type in the comment section, what is the title of the latest blog post that we've created? So you've got to go to greenroomuniversity.com, got to go to the tab blog, and copy and paste the latest title of the latest blog post.
Holy crap, this is going to be crazy, man.
That we've created in the comments. So we're in there. Eric's in there watching right now. Let's see. Smash that like button too. If you win, you got to hit that like button. We're going to double check. So we're going to be back into the comments, back into the boom. I think I see a winner. Was that Ryan O? Ryan O? I think.
Yeah, Ryan O'Rourke. Yep.
Ryan O. Right. CP, make sure to grab his information. Email us at askgreenroom@gmail.
Damn, that was quick, guys.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. People are on fire.
A
Jeez.
quick winner.
That was awesome.
That was like a 10-second contest. Now everyone's like, all right, I got to go now. See you later.
Peace. Hey, yeah, the views are dropping. Huh?
I should have drew it out a little more. Like, wait, I don't know if we got a winner yet. Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah.
We got to keep it real. Let's jump back into the content. We'll message you, Ryan. What's next on the agenda, Bonafide?
Okay, so let's talk about the employees real quick. For you, why was it important to hire the employees? Like, what stage in that 10 years did you do it?
After about 2 years, I started running into that high volume problem where we needed people to help us wrap orders. And then
to wrap orders, or what do you mean wrap? Because we're not polybagging anything. What do you mean wrap orders?
I mean, we were doing merchant fulfilled at the time still.
Okay.
So we would have a ton of orders, and it would be it would be, if you started after dinner, you would be up till 3 or 4 in the morning wrapping books. Wow. It'd be ridiculous. So that's when we hired someone originally, and that was just my buddy. And then eventually, what's so funny?
They said the site went down because
what went down?
For a second.
Dude, you crashed the site, dude. Your show has crashed our site.
Crash and burn.
Keep going. Trying to help everybody out here, and what happened? We crashed our freaking site. Our tech guy's on vacation for 2 days. All right, keep going.
Slow it down. I just crashed the site. All right. What were we saying?
I have no clue.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
we were talking about bringing on employees.
Yeah.
And then we started to have random things would happen, like You know how if you have a store on your route that you visit regularly and like they put stuff out after lunch or something, or they put stuff out in the morning and it's like regular, you know, you can count on it. And then they change it up, so then you have to adjust on that. And I had 2 really good sources on my local route that I do, you know, 5-7 days a week, and they used to be staggered 2 hours apart, and then they started putting stuff out at the same time. And so then I had to, you know, split, you know, divide and conquer. And then at first my wife always helped me, and she did that, but we have kids, and then she was pregnant, and we had another kid, and she goes to school. So eventually I just told my wife she didn't have to work anymore, and my wife hasn't worked for like three or more years, I think. So I needed employees to help me get everything done.
Okay.
So bummed out that
the employees exactly, like if you could nail it down to a certain tasks that they do, would it be like boxing the thing up? Are they the ones breaking their backs to like lift the boxes into like the trucks and everything?
Oh yeah.
So you don't touch the boxes anymore, right?
Not if I don't have to, but I'm not going to stand there. If I'm there and they're loading boxes, I'm going to load them up.
Are they loading boxes on scales already, or are you guys? I mean, like, are you guys doing that? Like, it's already on a scale and you're loading it and you're getting close to that 50 mark and everything, right? Or what do you guys do?
Right, yeah. So we pack the box and the box is already on the scale, and then we do like 49 pounds because you don't want to get violated for going a pound over or whatever. So we just do 49 pounds, and then we box them up. But we're not doing that anymore because now we're doing LTL, which I highly advise everybody does books to look into, or even anything, as long as you can get the weight up, you know, within a, you know, we can send a pallet a week from each location pretty easily, so it works out.
Yeah, define that real quick. Let's that might be the very last question that we ask you, and then we'll go into the comment feed. But like, define LTL in like sub 1 minute to the people out there that don't know what it is.
Okay, so you can send your products in to Amazon using your own carrier, like U.S. Mail. Don't do that. Or Amazon's carrier, UPS Ground, and you get crazy good rates. You get like 25 cents to 50 cents depending on where it goes. Really good, way better than you could get. Or they have this option called LTL, which is, I think, stands for less than truckload, and I'm not sure. And just to give you an example, I had a shipment last week or the week before. I'm actually making a YouTube video about this. This was the first time I did it, and I just explored it. It was 642 books or something. It was like 740 pounds. And the total, it was 16 boxes, I think, and the total it was going to cost me with Amazon's UPS was $185, and then with the LTL truckload, it only cost me $70.15.
Wow, holy man!
Holy
what is that?
moly.
10 cents
But
a
you have to put it on the pallet, right?
I saved $115 just on that one shipment, and I was really punching myself because I always assumed that you had to get near the max weight of a pallet to get some kind of discount, and I think that's like 1,500 pounds. Yeah, you have to get a pallet. Luckily, I still had pallets left over from when I had those 15,000 units returned to me for the free removal. So I had pallets still. And I just, I live in a residential neighborhood. I don't have a loading dock or anything. My driveway is actually like 45-degree angle, so we dry stack the boxes on the pallet at the top of the driveway where my garage is, where we work at this location. And then we measured it and everything, and then ordered the pickup. And then when the truck arrived, we put the pallet at the bottom of the driveway, stacked it all, and wrapped it all. We did it right before they arrived. But.
So you have to bring it down to the bottom of the driveway, and then they'll come and
Well, for my driveway, you can't really back a truck up into it. Like if you were to back a pickup truck into my driveway and drop the tailgate would meet my driveway eventually.
How do you schedule a pickup, and how do you pay through Amazon to go?
It's just as easy as the UPS shipping. It's all their own carriers. They pick the carrier for you. It's kind of weird at first. So you pick it all out, and then they tell you what you have to do, and they will send you an email, and it's supposed to come within 48 hours. Mine took 3 or 4 days. It was over the weekend though. And then when I got the email said, we'll call you, here's the freight company, they should call you to let you know about the pickup. And they called me the next day, and they were like, I'll be there in a half hour. And I was like, great. Dude
Gosh,
loaded
that's insane.
Killer
Dude
tip
loaded
right
it
there.
up when I was filming a video and trying to YouTube the whole thing or whatever, and I didn't have the bill of landing, I believe it's called, and he was like, "Where's the bill of landing?" I didn't even know about it, and so I had to go back into my email and find it, printed it out, and by the time I printed it out and came outside, he had loaded my pallet into the truck and shut the door. So I don't even have any videos of the pallet actually burn into the truck.
I'm sure you'll have many more coming now.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you know
I'll
all
get
this.
the next one, but I'm amazed of the savings. Like, divide that for me,
Great
someone,
tip.
$115 of savings across 640 books. You know, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It changes which books I can sell. You know.
So,
Yeah,
so with that being
absolutely.
said, that's a huge tip. Let's jump into the comments, man, because we promised that we would answer some questions, Bonafide. There's a lot of people answering questions, and maybe we can go a couple minutes over the show.
Sure.
But I want to keep to the time limits. I respect Reezy and his time. So,
All right, so we're going to go to the comment feed real quick, into the live comment feed right here. If you're watching this video, look to the right. You can type into the type box, anything that you have, a question for Reezy, and we'll see if we can get Reezy to answer it. So here's the first one from Jonathan. Do you guys have tips on buying and selling, living in the UK? You haven't hustled in the UK, you wouldn't know, right?
Okay, no, but I do have some tips. Join my Facebook group because there's a couple individuals that live in Manchester, John Case and Luke Pastor. Friend those guys up on Facebook. They're super nice, and they are, as far as I'm concerned, spearheading the used book game in the UK.
Okay.
So check those guys out. You could learn from them for sure.
that's great.
Okay. We have hybrid. Hold on. Never mind. What's the scanner name again? What's the good scanner to get? Answer that one more time.
Comtac, KOAMTAC KDC 200i. You can actually get them refurbished for $50 from an individual named Dean J. Rowe. He's a seller, and I hope you guys don't get mad about me shouting that out. I don't know how he's even making any money on these things, selling them for $50, but I've got a few from him already. You should have a couple of them at that price.
Okay. For your 500,000 in sales, what value of inventory do you keep on the shelf?
I don't know that offhand. Honestly, I'm really bad with like numbers and accounting, and I just like to focus on making money. But I can tell you that we have 47,000 units in our active inventory right now.
Okay. Pick It for Profit says he has two questions. Let's answer them real quick. Favorite place? Okay, here's the first one. Favorite place to source during a weekday? What is that?
Thrift stores.
Okay. Favorite during the weekend?
Estate sales.
Okay.
Ooh,
Estate sales always
say
have a
that.
ton of books, man. They have a ton of books in estate sales.
The
Always.
thing is they're just more likely to have a collection of books than a yard sale. And estate people, if it's being run by people that run estate sales and not the actual family, they're used to letting stuff go. So throw a price at them and you can take everything.
I got a question I saw before. I'm gonna just reiterate it. Someone getting started, they want to sell books. Best to start off merchant fulfilled or FBA, and why?
I think you should start out merchant fulfilled so that you can get a feel for the game and understand how it works. That being said, that might not be an option for you, depending on your schedule or whatever. Maybe you fly here, fly there, whatever, and you can't, fulfill orders. So then FBA would be better for you. But I recommend merchant fulfilled because you get to understand how it all works. There's nothing more frustrating to me than seeing a new seller that, they bought the scanner, they bought FBA scan, they went FBA, and they sent their products in, and they don't know that they're getting charged 20 cents an item for a sticker fee, or they don't know anything, and they're just on the group talking about how come I have no money and I sold $300 worth of stuff. So it's just
all
better
these
to
questions are coming
figure
in,
it all out.
Okay, so there's another one. Between yard sales and estate sales and garage sales and thrift stores, what's the favorite place to go source from? You're just like, oh, absolutely, I love going there.
I'd have to say thrift stores are one of my favorites because when you find a good thrift store, it's really good, and it goes along with the area. You have to live in a good area to get good donations. But when you find one that's not getting picked over by other sellers, or they're not selling online or whatever, it can be, and they have, they put inventory out every day or whatever. You can make a living off of one really good thrift store.
Okay, and here's another thing that I want to clarify. When you get this KDC 200i, I'm probably on the verge of getting one myself, but that doesn't just limit you to books, right? This opens up everything to you can do CDs, you can do all kinds of stuff with the database, correct? Raiken,
oh yeah,
correct?
you can scan anything. So whenever you do retail arbitrage, Toys R Us, whatever, and anything with a barcode is going to be, you're going to scan stuff so much faster. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, if at the end of the show, I don't know if you can get back into our video once it becomes our actual video, if you can put down the tip or get with Raiken, we'll put it in the comment feed, but we're going to have to put the scanner down there, Raiken, all right? We're going to get the scanner in there, and we're going to get also the FBA, the actual tool that he uses that I think you use too, Raiken, right? You use FBA scan?
I was using it for a while. I've messed with that. Amazon Seller App, Scoutify, all work well. But FBA scan, if you're going to go full into books, that's the way to go.
The thing is with books, unlike other stuff, is you have to scan a lot of stuff to find winners usually, right? There's a lot of straw that you have to get through to get to the gold. And so that's very important to make sure you're using the right app with the database mode so that you can get through faster, because you save a half second on every item you scan, and you're scanning 3,000 items. That's a lot of time,
If you're brand new, you don't need it. Like if you're brand new, I'd say the best thing for you is to just get started on a budget to get some success under your belt. I would just start with your phone and the Amazon Seller App if you're new. And once you start making, maybe you make your first $1,000 and you've got some money to invest after paying for cost of goods or just for your time, you saved up some money, then maybe look at investing into a scanner because it will multiply your results, bottom line.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We have a remark from Texas Gal Treasures who says, I love the deck art in the back, by the way, Reezy. So that's
awesome.
good. You guys got a nice wall behind you, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Real quick, we're getting towards the very, very end of the show, but before we get to the very, very end, let's make sure people know how to connect with you further, right? You have a YouTube channel, you have a Facebook group, and you have a website. So go ahead and shout those out one more time because we got 342 people watching right now as opposed to the 100 people that saw you on the first 5 minutes of the show.
Right. So my YouTube channel is Reezy Resells. If you Google Reezy Resells or search it on YouTube, it'll come up pretty quickly. I have a website, reezyresells.com. I don't use it that much, but I do auto-host my YouTube videos there, so you can always go there just to see them quickly without having to search YouTube. And if you do want to go to my YouTube channel, is youtube.com/c/reezyresells. My Facebook group is Reezy Resells, Amazon FBA Book Expert. Steve already put the link in the description down there, so you can just click on that yesterday. Reezy Resells on Snapchat. I'm pretty big on Snapchat. You guys get a lot of behind-the-scenes content from me if you hit me up on Snapchat. Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, whatever, anything. The less frequently used platform that you message me on, the more likely you are to have my attention because I have less messages on that service.
Big shout out to your boy Ricky Analog in the comments as well. I know he's been interacting, and I watched a couple of his videos. He's one of your partners, and he made a killer video talking about how you create your SKUs. And he made a couple videos just recently, and I'm like, wow, this guy, I was telling you before the show, he's really good on camera. He knows his stuff. So we'll link a couple of those videos down below because trust me, if you're just getting started with books, you want to watch the video that Ricky Analog posted, which is Reezy's friend and partner. So
yeah, do yourself a favor and just give him a follow on Snapchat too. It's Ricky_analog, and the dude's a nonstop hustler. He wouldn't be my business partner if he wasn't.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool. I think we have time for one more thing here. One more question. I'm waiting for the next question because there's so many up top. It would take forever to scroll and get them all. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for one good question. I know we have 340 people watching right now. Then we'll go into like a 5-minute housekeeping kind of thing, and then we will be off the air, man. So one more question. Oh, here we goes. What is I don't know if this is a question, but what are your thoughts on ECO2? What is that?
That is the Eco 2 CD cleaner. That's a question about a CD refurbishing machine.
Okay.
So it's pretty awesome. Shout out to James Callis for telling me everything I know about refurbishing CDs. But if you want a quality machine that can refurbish most to a brand new condition, grab an Eco Pro 2 from elmusa.com. They're about $1,000, and it's pretty much the machine to get. It will fix most CDs. The next machine you need to fix the CDs that one can't fix costs $15,000. So you just start with this one, and it's great because there's a $150 machine that works all right, the JFJ polishing machine, but the CDs come out with polish all over them, and you have to wipe them clean every time. With the Eco Pro, it's self-contained. The discs come out dry.
That's sweet.
So if you want to, it was great. I always thought those machines costed a ton, and I always knew you could refurbish CDs, but I never knew what machines to use. I would always look it up and see the $15,000 machines.
That's unbelievable, man. So if you see these people like rifling through CD stacks at like estate sales, they might have this machine in the background. You never know, because there's some people that are all about books, right? There's some people that are all about CDs. There's some people that are all about video games, and like these people because if you go to certain estate sales and garage sales, you start seeing the same people like doing the same thing. It's just your competition. There's nothing you can do about it. Nope. The only thing you can do is just know your own game and try to get as good as you can. But anyway. It's a dog-eat-dog world, or like a cat-scratch-cat. That's what I like to say. This is cat-scratch-cat world. So, hey, guys, we're going to go into the housekeeping portion real quick. Reezy, will you stick around for like 5 minutes? Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So real quick, Raiken, tell them about this real quick that I'm holding up.
Sure. Yeah, we've got a free book that we're giving away to everybody. Probably over, 7,000 people download the book over the last year or so, and there's been so much good feedback about it helping people. So get it down below, greenroomuniversity.com/free book. That'll be 100 items you could be on the lookout for. And these are items you could actually find from thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, to sell on eBay, Amazon, Craigslist. So get that free book, and trust me, it'll make you money, and it's stuff you can actually find.
Okay, well, we always also have the people here. One last piece of thing that we want to cover. We have a summit that's coming down, right? January. Raiken, you want to tell them?
Sorry about that. I've been fighting a cold for the last week or so. Yes, we are putting on a virtual summit, and you're probably thinking, what's a virtual summit? Think of it this way. Think of a seminar that you've ever gone to in the flesh, maybe a conference. You have to pay, $600 to get a hotel, $500 to fly out, $1,000 to stay at the conference. It's $2,000, which is great. I pay for conferences all the time, but we're holding a virtual conference, which is going to be a fraction of the price. We're going to be bringing on all the top dogs in Amazon FBA, eBay, merch, private label, wholesale, and maybe we'll even try to get Reezy on, man, talking about books. That would be awesome. But we're getting all the top dogs, the thought leaders, influencers for one online virtual summit, which is going to span over 2 days and probably somewhere between 12 to 20 hours of content, if I had to guess. So if you want to get notified about that, that's going to be going on in January. Go into the description, and it's the first line virtual summit, greenroomuniversity.com/get notified. Put in your email, and we'll let you know probably in a couple months once we get all the guests situated, and we'll send you guys like an early bird discount on that if you want to learn more.
That's right. Okay, so I guess that pretty much wraps up the show. I do have one last question to ask Reezy, because we've been watching this whole show, and you have a skateboard deck background, and it's really, really cool. So I want to ask you, what is your? There's no this is never going to part with you until you die. What is your deck, man? Like, what is the deck of all decks that you have that you're like, that's it? I'm never going to sell this thing. I love it too much.
Oh, that's super easy for me. Here, check it out. So this one, right? Ooh, let's see. This one with the monkey. Let's see.
Yeah, right, I see it.
So this is let's see, what year is it? 1998 Pal Peralta Everslick Mini. And this was my 16-year-old daughter's first skateboard.
Wow.
Awesome.
So that right there. So I'll have that forever, and that's actually like worth a decent amount of money, like $150 as a collectible itself. But to me, that's just her first skateboard. So she doesn't skate anymore, but I thought she was going to be some amazing skateboarder.
Yeah, anytime you hear Pal Peralta, it's usually really decent stuff. So
these ones are pretty rad. You couldn't see them in the broadcast.
Oh man, those are cool. Yeah, you got a really nice little wall behind you. I really like it, man. So anyway, Reezy, we really appreciate you guys, you and your partner who's in the feed, but we appreciate you guys like being here on the actual show. We went 6 minutes over, so, but at the same time, you know,
we broke the record.
A wealth of information, man. Like seriously, I was reading through the outline and I was like, okay, cool. We're going to talk to a bookseller, and I watched a couple of your videos that just actually popped in my feed. So you're getting like, you know, you got some traction in YouTube because I'm seeing you popped up on my feed somehow, and so I looked at one where you're going to Savers.
Yeah, I follow you, man.
Cool. That must be, maybe that's what it is. I don't know what the algo is like, but anyway, you popped up. I watched it, and you were not going to Savers, and I was like, damn. I was like, this dude's coming up, but I didn't make the connection till the show that was you. I was like, holy crap! Like, I swear this is the dude from the video I just literally saw like 3 days ago. So that's pretty cool to interview. And then the fact that you dropped off all this knowledge. I mean, can we get a cheddar round of applause for this dude?
Smash the like button for Reezy right now. Let's hit 300 likes. I mean, holy mackerel! What
are we at right now? 242. Come on, guys.
No, we're at 296, and honestly, like the
296 watching, but only 242 likes. Right?
Oh no, yeah. You'll see. It'll be like probably 1,000 in like a week or something. So anyway, you're definitely the record smasher.
300 right now.
Yeah,
come on,
maybe
guys,
we can. I don't know. He's asking you guys to comment. I mean, to hit the like button. But yeah. Anyway, you're definitely a record holder in our book.
And how many green room shows have we had to give us some context to that?
We've had a lot. We've actually honestly, I'll be really honest with you. We've had about 110, maybe 120 by now. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because there's like a season 1 and there's just like, this is technically season 2, but we stopped numbering them because they just started getting so high. We're like, all right, forget it. We're just going to call it certain things. But anyway, 285, we're 15.
Dude, we should make every title.
You guys love me. I love you guys.
We're selling every title to get more people watching. I think we've cracked the algo.
You want to hear something funny? You said, hey man, I love you guys, and it went from 285 to 284.
Oh man.
No way, dude.
We're at 285. We just need 15 more.
Now 291 now in my book. I'm looking at that.
Oh,
there's some people retracting them.
Cool.
That's pretty funny.
Nice. Oh, you can take it back. I like thumbs down way more than thumbs up, actually.
Man, you hit that thumbs down. That just I've never hit a thumbs down ever in my life on YouTube. I've never have. It's just not in my personality. I don't care that much. I don't have hate for anybody out there, you know.
I have this one stalker. My first interaction on every video I post is a thumbs down. That's it.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be that's you know, welcome to YouTube, man. Not everyone's gonna have that outlook on life, like, you know, maybe us or other people. But anyway, I do want to thank you for being on the show, Raiken. Let's close this thing out. We're done.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Again, make sure to follow Reezy. Links in the description for his YouTube and his Facebook. Trust me, get into his Facebook. 100% free. You're not going to find anybody out there putting out the type of content he puts out in terms of books. So get into his Facebook. Follow him on Snapchat, on YouTube. If you haven't already, get our free book down below, 100 Amazing Items to Resell. Get notified of our virtual summit. But yeah, smash the like button. See you guys in the next video. Reezy, appreciate it. Ricky Analog, appreciate it. Big shout out to your boy, Scotty. I don't know him, but I want to get to know him. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.
See you guys. You're welcome. Thanks, Reezy.